Blue skies today. Hope it stays that way for a while now. Good morning, folks. Last day for this horse camp. Uh-oh, I forgot to take the battery loose. I bet that thing's dead. That's not good news. But it won't start. Gotta get this fixed. Oh, good. I got lucky that time. Woohoo! Other days when I left it plugged in, it's dead in the morning. That was a close one. People are counting on you. You can't have stuff like that happen. Anyway, this truck's about empty. Gotta get it filled up. Well, while the truck's filling up, man, I'm glad that thing started. Checked my oil and stuff. It's almost due to be changed again in the tractor here. With a truck, you know, that's a little low on the hydraulics. I'll put some of that in there. With a truck or a car, you know, you change it after so many miles. With a tractor, they don't go that many miles. So you're supposed to change it after every 100 hours. I think I'm closing in on that already. I got the indoor barn all worked up last night. It should be ready to go, but this one needs some water and worked up. It's hard. The ground here has a lot of clay in it, and it'll turn into almost like cement. When it dries out, it gets hard as a rock. Well, summertime and all that means irrigation, which means irritation. These valves, we don't have enough pressure. There's two types of valves here. This type, I don't know if you can even see in there, it's pretty dark, but it takes quite a little bit of water pressure to hit this to make them seal. And we don't have it. So this type, these little rubber mushrooms, they take less pressure, but to put them in, you got to take each and every one of these apart. And I think I can probably just take apart the ones down to that ditch. Past there, I think most of them are the mushrooms. But it's never fun to take these apart. When you do, they never really go back together again. Well, anyway. Okay, I got it out. These are the flap type valves. You have to have valves in these for when you turn it off so that they drain. If they don't drain, they're too heavy and it'll twist them in half when you try to move these. But this style of valve, it takes a lot of water pressure. These little flaps are pretty stiff, and the water has to hit that hard enough to push it over and make that seal. And most of the time they don't. I don't like this type at all. So this kind, they're just a little rubber mushroom. All you do is you can do it from the other side. You gotta squeeze these and poke them through that hole. It's not easy, but you can do it. You just push these through that hole there, and then you put one of these little metal clips up underneath it. like just like that. It ain't on all the way, but I need 2 hands. Then you squeeze it a little bit, and then water. I mean, it doesn't take near as much pressure to make that seal. They're a lot better system. These don't last forever. The stem on this, after a while, will dry rot, and these will break off and go down the pipe. But it's way easier to replace these. In fact, look at that one. That one's probably a used one. It's already starting to crack. But it's still a way better system than that flap type. To replace these, I have to undo this clamp. Sometimes they come off easy, sometimes they don't. This one don't. Had to pick a hard one here to put on the camera. Okay. Then you got these little bitty saw teeth. They got to be lined up just right, otherwise they won't go back together either. Okay. Yeah, this one's gonna give me trouble. It's spinning on the inside, which is kind of partly why you gotta take them apart. That and you don't really want them washing down the pipe if you can help it. They'll just plug up someplace else, cause you other troubles. Okay, see that thing, like I said, that's stiff. I mean, that takes quite a little bit of pressure. I think as the summer goes on, these probably soften up with the water and the heat from the sun, but they ain't gonna seal. I mean, that takes a lot of effort to push that over. These other ones, find one here. These other ones on the inside of the pipe here, you just poke that down through that hole like so. You put this clip on the bottom like so, and you take and you squeeze that clip a little bit so it doesn't fall off. See, that's mostly, it might be too dark in there to see, but that's mostly already sealed. The water can leak out, but it doesn't take near the pressure to make that shut. Okay, so then, on this side, gasket. On this side of the pipe, there's a rubber gasket. This one's in there pretty good. Sometimes those fall out. And if they do, man, it's hard to get them back in and get everything put back together. But anyhow, put this back. This This is usually not that easy. If those teeth aren't just perfectly lined up, it's not going to go back together. And if that's the case, then you have to go down, you got to roll the pipe just a tiny bit and hope the next time it works. Heavy. Yeah, I got lucky on that one. They went back together. See how those little spines are, those teeth? They're not meshed up just right. Gives you fits. This clamp is rusty as old. In a way, these kind of good because they don't come off easy. They're sure a pain to work with. Yeah, golly. Like I say, they're not irrigation pipes, they're irritation pipes. They teach you patience and cuss words. Ah, you son of a... Come on, get on there. There we go, finally. Okay. That one's done. I got probably at least 4 more down there to do. Oh joy. I didn't get all of them. There's still a couple I didn't change, but go turn the pump on and see if that makes any difference. Hopefully it should. I was hoping to get out after those trail cameras here. Oops. Today, but it doesn't look very likely. They're roping this evening. In fact, it's 3:30 now. It's right about time to start watering and plowing for them if the 4-H kids are out of the way. I don't know where they went. They were supposed to be in this little arena, but I guess they're in the big one. Okay. Ugh. these weeds are out of hand. I tried chopping some of them yesterday and they're getting awful big. They're more like trees than they are weeds. Okay, give that a second to fill the pipe and see if it pressures up. I see a little water coming out. Yeah, that made a big difference already. Those first probably 6-8 sections of pipe, the drain flaps aren't leaking now. They're starting to get kind of even spray a little. So the water should be able to get clear to this other end now. This pipeline is a 1/4 mile long, irrigation pipe, plus probably, I don't know, almost 200 yards worth of buried main line. So that takes quite a little water to fill this thing before it can get any pressure enough to flip those valves shut, which is why those flap type, they just don't work. I've been needing to change those out for a long time. I did a lot of them down at this lower end, but that upper end, I think the rubber was a little bit newer and more flexible, so they were working, but not very well. This should work a lot better now. I bet. Get down here then, see if we get any water here to it. Takes a while for it to get that far. Yeah, it's already doing better. I can see water coming out of those drain flaps. As the water picks up, they should kind of shut off. As long as it's got enough pressure to make it to the end of the line, then they'll pop off one at a time and seal. Before, there was just too many leaks in the pipe from all those drains that it just wasn't making it that far. There we go. Water finally hit the end of the line and pressured up the way it should. Took a little bit of doing, but it shouldn't be as bad now. Get out of the way of the sprinkler here. There we go. Well, irrigation season has begun. There's always going to be, well, there's one right there that's not spraying. There's always going to be some that get plugged up with dirt and stuff that floating down the ditch. But that one's easy to get to. I'll go unplug it quick. But hopefully the dang thing will work now. Tomorrow I'll find out if the wheel line motor is going to work. We changed that out last year, so it should, I hope. That was sure a nightmare before. Anyway, go unplug this one and go find something else to do, but go get ready for those ropers, I guess. So, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.